Good afternoon and welcome to Cedar Heights Park in Greenville, the site of the championship game of the King of the Hill tournament. Well, we'll either have a champion who has won this tournament before or a new one. Versailles winning it the first year back in 1996. Greenville winning it last year. And tonight, this afternoon, it's Versailles against Franklin-Monroe for the championship. Versailles will be the visitors. They will be batting first here tonight, this afternoon, and leading off will be designated hitter Kevin Subler. He is batting for catcher Ben Arden. Jeremy Turner, the second baseman, will be batting second. Pitcher Adam Whetstone will be batting third. Eric Stuckey, the third baseman, batting in the cleanup spot. Sean Borchers, the center fielder, will bat fifth. Brian Philpott, the right fielder, will bat sixth. Ben Mesher, the first baseman, will be batting seventh. Jason Shardo, the shortstop, will be batting eighth. And Ryan Subler, the left fielder, will be batting in the ninth spot. That is foul back. It is an 0-2 count. Here as we are underway. My name's Mark Bixler. We are glad to be with you. This video being produced by Bixler Video Productions. Pitching for FM is Ryan Dunn. He lets it fly, and it's a 1-2 count. Jeremy Tucker waiting on deck for the Tigers. Versailles a 1-0 winner over Arcanum last night as Subler takes that for a ball, and it now evens the count at, I believe, 2-2. Couple good games last night as FM knocked off Mississinawa 4-3 in 8. And as we said, Versailles knocking off Arcanum 1-0. Arcanum with several opportunities but could not cash in on them. Versailles, as Subler takes ball 4. So the leadoff runner has reached for the Tigers. Versailles has yet to give up a run here in the King of the Hill tournament, shutting out Greenville in a run rule game, 12-0 here a couple weeks ago. 2 weeks ago today, and last night the 1-0 winner over Arcanum. Then the left-hander fires, and Turner takes a ball, and it's 0-1. Adam Whetstone, the pitcher, waiting on deck. We are scoreless, top of the first, just underway. Runner at first, Dunn fires, and that's fouled back to the screen, and again ahead in the count, 0-2. Well, we let Subler get away after getting ahead in the count 0-2. Let's see what Dunn is able to do here. Dunn pitched in the opening game for FM against Tri-Village, and what a wild one that was. 18-17. He fires to first, and back in safely is Subler. Dunn going from the stretch, steps off the rubber, but a balk is called immediately as he could not see exactly what his foot motion was, and that is taken high and away. So I'm not sure what that was called, but what happened to result, the end result being the balk, but nonetheless was called right away. Taken low and away, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes now against Turner. Two on the way, and that's a swing and a miss. 1 out. That will bring Adam Whetstone to the plate. Whetstone batting from the right side, and that's fouled back to the screen. A count 0-1. Well, thus far, Dunn getting ahead in count with both batters. One away, one on, a grounder foul, third base side, foul. A ball, 2 strikes on Whetstone. So Dunn getting ahead in the count here this afternoon. 1-2 on the way, taken high, and it's even now at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Going to miss, and the throw to first is in right field. 1 run will score for the Tigers, and heading to third and in safely is Whetstone on a 2-base throwing error by Hamlin. After the strikeout, which got away from Hamlin, that enables Subler to score, giving Versailles the 1-0 lead here in the early going. With 1 out, the Tigers with a runner at third, and third baseman Eric Stuckey at bat. Dunn fires, taken a bit low inside as well, and it's even now at a ball and a strike. Center fielder Sean Borchers awaits on deck. As we said, 1 gone and 1 on. 1 already in, and Stuckey, ground ball, gets into left field. 1 run, a second run is in as Stuckey coasts into second base with a double. And the Tigers striking quickly here in the top half of the first, leading it 2-0. Sean Borchers steps in now for the Tigers. Taken a bit low. It's a 1-0 count for Brian Philpott awaiting on deck. 2-0 Versailles. We are in the top half of the first. Dunn fires, and that is gets away from Hamlin. And Stuckey will move up to third base on the play. So the third run now standing 90 feet away for Versailles. And a 2-0 count on Borchers. Dunn, the 2-0 is taking ball 3. Dunn readies from the stretch, fires home, and it's taken a strike. 3 balls and a strike now on Borchers. Brian Philpott, as we said, the right fielder awaits on deck. A 2-0 lead, 1 out, a runner at third. Eric Stuckey, and that ball is lifted into right center field. It will drop. A third run scores. My apologies there, getting a little carried away. But as we said, it is a 3-0 lead. Borchers with the base hit and the RBI, making it a 3-0 lead. That is the second hit for the Tigers as Philpott takes that inside. It's a 1-0 count. First baseman Ben Mesher awaits on deck. Kind of an ominous start for the Jets here in the opening half of the ball game, opening inning. One out, 3 runs in, and a runner on for the Tigers. That gets by Hamlin as Borchers moving up to second. And it's a 2-0 count on Philpott. Dunn fires, taken. Actually, it must have been a 3-0 count. So that puts runners at first and second now for Versailles as Ben Mesher steps in now, the first baseman for the Tigers today. Dunn fires home, and it's taken a bit outside. It's 1-0. Bit low. 2 balls, no strikes now against Mesher. Well, a 3-0 count. Dunn 1 ball away from loading the bases. Taking a strike. Now a 3-1 count. Jason Shardo, the shortstop, awaits on deck. Shardo would be the 8th batter of the inning. Hit up the middle, and it gets by the shortstop into shallow left center field as 1 run scores. A second, Mesher at first, and moving on to third is Brian Philpott as Sean Borchers scores easily. 4 runs in now for the Tigers with runners at first and third and still 1 out. Jason Shardo, well, it looked like maybe a double play was in store there, but took an unkind bounce for Kyle Bowman as went out into shallow left center field, and scoring, as we said, Sean Borchers. Philpott at third, Mesher is at first, and Jason Shardo ahead in the count. Popped on the infield, and it is gathered in by third baseman Jeremy Beckner, and there's 2 outs. Ryan Subler becomes the 9th batter of the inning for Versailles. They have plated 4 runs, presently have runners at first and third. And that is popped. Beckner again settles in and makes the catch. Well, that ends the inning, but not before Versailles scores 4 times. After a half inning, they lead this 4-0. As FM will now get their first chance at bat as we head to the bottom of the first. This event brought to you by the Made-Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us. Well, the Tigers with 4 runs in the top half of the first. They lead it as we head to the bottom of the first, 4-0. Leading off for Franklin-Monroe will be second baseman Brandon Groff. Rusty Hutchinson, the center fielder, will bat second. Bronson Kofer, the first baseman, third. Catcher T.J. Hamlin will be in the cleanup spot batting fourth. Kyle Bowman, the shortstop, will bat fifth. Left fielder Brian Fenstermaker will bat sixth. Batting seventh, designated hitter Josh Riffle. Batting for pitcher Ryan Dunn. Jeremy Beckner, the third baseman, will bat eighth. And Kevin Kress, the right fielder, will bat ninth. Pitching for Versailles is Adam Whetstone. First 2 games of this King of the Hill tournament, we saw Kevin Subler pitch. Two balls and a strike is the count against Groff. Subler credited with both wins, and that is a soft grounder to third base. Snooki fires on to Mesher, and there's 1 out. Slow grounder, I should say. 5. Three, if you're scoring with us. Rusty Hutchinson steps in now. Well, Versailles off to the big start here today. 4 runs on 3 hits in the top half of the first. It's an 0-1 count on Hutchinson. Whetstone fires, and that's fouled back first base side. It's an 0-2 count on Hutchinson. Fouled back off the screen. Stays 0-2. Again, a decent crowd. They've had some good crowds. That is on to first. 2 outs, 6-3. Hutchinson goes down. Chardot on to Mesher, and there are 2 outs. Bronson Kofer will step in now for FM. Whetstone fires, and that's taken a strike. Well, I can remember playing in my high school days when you were sometimes lucky to only get a dozen people to watch the ball games. It's taken for a ball. A ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. No one on. Whetstone readies. Fires home, and that is a swing and a miss. So Whetstone gets his first strikeout to end the first, and FM goes down 1-2-3. After 1 complete, it's Versailles 4, Franklin-Monroe nothing. Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions, contact us if you'd like a DVD of any of the games or events we've taped. Well, the Tigers batted around in the first. sending 9 to the plate. They lead it 4-0. 4 runs on 3 hits. FM going out in order in the bottom half of the first. Ryan Dunn on for a second inning of work. That ball is given a ride into left field. It is caught. Left fielder Brian Fenstermaker there to make the catch, and there's 1 out. Subler out F7 if you're scoring with us. Jeremy Turner steps in. Turner had 1 of 4 home runs in the opening round of the King of the Hill tournament. That's a swing and a miss. So Dunn apparently settling down here in the second as he gets Turner on strikes for the second time tonight, this afternoon. Adam Whetstone will step in now. That's fouled back, and it's 0-1. Third baseman Eric Stuckey awaits on deck for the Tigers, 4-0. And fires a bit tight. It's even at a ball and a strike. Whetstone also a strikeout victim, but on a throwing error. Made it all the way to third. After TJ Hamlin could not find the handle, threw it on to first and got out into right field. That enabled Kevin Subler to score with the game's first run, and Whetstone made it all the way to third base. This time he draws the walk, and it happens with 2 outs. Well, that brings up Eric Stuckey to the plate, a double last time up. Popped up on the infield, giving chase, is first baseman Ronson Kofer, but it's out of play. Count is 0-1 as Sean Borchers awaits on deck. We are in the top of the second. It's a 4-0 lead for Versailles. Tigers with 4 runs in the top of the first as they batted around. Whetstone stealing second. A 1-1 count. Make that 2-1 now. That is a ground ball, and the shortstop cannot quite reel it in as Kyle Bowman got it. Just did not quite scoop it in his glove, and That puts runners at first and third. Sean Borchers, the batter now, stepping in from the right side, the center fielder, and that is popped foul. Gopher giving chase, and runs out of room. The 0-1 count. Back in safely is Whetstone at third as Stuckey advances to second base. And it's an 0-1 count on Borchers. Popped foul, out of play, drifting down the first base side. It's an 0-2 count. Well, the Tigers now with runners at second and third here in the top of the second. Versailles threatening, but there are 2 outs. Taken a bit high. Brian Philpott awaiting on deck for Versailles. The 1-2 on the way, and that is ripped to Gopher. And he snares it to end the second. The Tigers leave a couple stranded, and after an inning and a half, it's still Versailles 4, FM nothing. This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us. We go to the bottom of the second with a 4-0 lead for Versailles, and that ball is ripped into right field. A base hit is leading off for the Jets, T.J. Hamlin. Them finding themselves down 4-0, but that the first hit of the afternoon as Kyle Bowman will step in. He'll be followed by Brian Fenstermaker. Adam Whetstone on for a second inning of work. Bowman finds himself down in the count 0-1. Whetstone fires, and that is a ground ball foul. Down the first base side. That is taken a bit high, and I do apologize. Excuse me, trying to get my throat cleared a little bit there. Whetstone fires, and that is strike 3. Swinging and missing is Bowman. 1 out as Fenstermaker will step in now for FM. Tigers with a 4-0 lead here, all 4 in the top half of the first when they sent 9 to the plate. Fenstermaker takes a strike, and he's down in the count 0-1. Count is now even at 1-1 on Fenstermaker. Josh Riffle awaits on deck for the Jets. Whetstone fires, and that's taken a strike. A ball, 2 strikes now on Fenstermaker. My name is Mark Bixler. We're glad to be with you here. The championship game of the King of the Hill tournament. And that is a swing and a miss, and Fenstermaker is out number 2, becoming the 3rd strikeout victim for Whetstone. Well, this is the only sport that offers a county tournament for Darke County. This is the championship game as Riffle fouls that back. And the count is even at 1-1. Well, the Versailles making it this far with a 12-0 shutout of Greenville in a run rule game to start the tournament. Then last night in the semis, defeating Arcanum in a good game, 1-0, as moving on to second will be TJ Hamlin on the wild pitch. 2 gone. The count is 2-1. Whetstone fires, and the count now even at 2-2 as Riffle swings and misses. Whetstone readies the 2-2 on the way, and it's taken a bit outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jeremy Beckner awaits on deck for the Jets. The payoff on the way, and Riffle swings and misses as Whetstone, after giving up the leadoff hit, strikes out the side. After 2 complete, it remains Versailles 4, FM nothing.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions, contact us if you'd like a DVD of any of the games or events we've taped.
Well, we go to the 3rd with FM trailing 4-0. Versailles will send Brian Philpott, Ben Misher, and Jason Shardo to the plate. Stepping in from the left side is Philpott. That is a ground ball, first base side, but foul. And it's an 0-1 count. Well, we started to say how each team made it to the championship game. As we said, Versailles run ruling Greenville in the opener 12-0 in 5. And last night in the semifinals, 1-0, they defeated Arcanum. FM making it in a wild one to open the tournament, 18-17 over Tri-Village in extra innings and 8 innings. Last night, another 8-inning affair, a 4-3 win over Mississinawa. Dunn fires, and that is taken ball 4. So the leadoff runner reaching here in the 3rd. And that brings up Ben Mesher. Mesher is 1 for 1, a base hit back in the first. He was left stranded, though. But by that time, all the Tigers had already struck for 4 runs. Mesher did get one of the RBIs. It's an 0-1 count on Mesher. Dunn fires, taken a bit low and away, and it's now even at 1-1. Shortstop Jason Shardo awaits on deck. Dunn fires, and that well, I'm not sure if that was a hit batsman or if it got the bat. Or just exactly what it was. I believe it's going to be a foul ball. Dunn fires, and Mesher swings and misses, so 1 out. As Jason Shardo will step in. I can go back to playing days when I believe I was a sophomore, and moving up to second on the wild pitch is Philpott. We were, having graduated from Ansonia, we were playing Arcanum in a tournament game and leading off, and I was one that always liked to get the count to 0-2 so I could get curveballs. Count is 1-0 on Shardo. Well, Randy Harrison was pitching, and that ball is lifted high into left center field. It is caught 2 away. Brian Fenstermaker making that catch. F7. As I said, Randy Harrison was pitching for Arcanum. I thought he was throwing a curveball. In fact, he actually was throwing a curveball as that gets away from the catcher, and Philpott moving on to third base. Well, the Tigers having had runners at third in every inning thus far. Well, Harrison hung the curveball, and by the time I realized it wasn't breaking, it was too late. A ground ball scooped up by the third baseman, and he will have no place to go as he could not quite get the handle on it. Jeremy Beckner, and that allows a 5th run to score for Versailles. Needless to say, swelling caught my knuckle. It was a foul ball, which hurt nonetheless, and ended up having to be taken out of the ball game because of swelling in the knuckle. "5-0, Versailles leading this over FM. We are in the top of the 3rd inning. Kevin Subler at bat now for the Tigers. It is a 2-0 count. 2 outs, a run in, and a run on, or a runner on. That has taken a strike. I believe. Thought he signaled a strike, but then again, well, that's ball 4. Doesn't matter. As that puts runners now at first and second. Ryan Subler is at second. Kevin Subler is at first. Jeremy Turner will step in. Strikeout victims his first 2 trips to the plate, making his 3rd trip here tonight, this afternoon here in the 3rd, and he takes a strike. Done ready's the 0-1 on the way, and that is hit into left field. Ryan Subler rounds third, heads home. He scores, gets past the catcher. Kevin Subler looks to round third, but he will stay put there. Jeremy Turner with the double drives in a run, and it's a 6-0 ball game. So the Tigers with 2 more here thus far in the 3rd. 2 outs. Adam Whetstone steps in. Dunn fires. And it misses just inside. Or was it a strike? I believe it's 1-0 though. It didn't appear as if he signaled a strike. And that is popped foul. And I believe it's a 1-1 count. Taken a bit high, 2-1. And as we said, the Tigers with a couple more thus far here in the 3rd. Dunn fires, a 2-1 taken low. 3 balls and a strike. We will not be doing the game coming up next, but it is a sectional game for Greenville. They will play Lebanon, and that hits off the bag. It's a fair ball. Another run is in. A second scores as well. And Whetstone is standing at second with a double. I tell you what, you don't see that often. A line drive, a low grounder, a hard grounder that hits the bag and just pops straight up. But because of that, it allowed 2 runs to score for Versailles. 2 more, I should say, as they have added 4 more here in the 3rd with a runner at second and still 2 outs. Eric Stuckey, the batter now for the Tigers, the 8th batter of the inning, and he hits a soft grounder, and all hands are going to be safe. A slow grounder to the second base side. Puts runners at first and third, still 2 outs. And Sean Borchers will now step in. He becomes the 9th batter of the inning. Eight to nothing. Versailles with the lead here as we are in the 3rd, the top of the 3rd. That's ripped into center field. That'll get another one in. Stuckey standing at second base. Sean Borchers with the base hit standing at first. So a 9-0 lead here in the championship of the King of the Hill tournament. Two gone, runners at first and second. And it looked like things were settling down for the Jets, but how quickly the tide turns. Dunn, the lefty, settles, fires, and that's fouled back. A ball and a strike on Philpott. Five runs in here in the third inning, giving Versailles a 9-0 lead, and that is low and away. 2 balls and a strike now. Dunn readies, fires home, and that is a ground ball foul. First base side. Well, according to the scoreboard, it's now a full count. Philpott draws the walk. And that brings up Ben Mesher. 1 for 2. He struck out earlier in the inning. Takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. Down in the count, 0-1. Well, the sacks are jammed for Mesher. Dunn fires, and that is taken a strike. And Mesher behind in the count, 0-2. The 0-2 on the way, and that is ripped foul, out of play, stays 0-2. Just misses. A ball, 2 strikes on Mesher. Jason Shardo, the shortstop, waits on deck. Dunn fires the 1-2, and that is taken. Strike 3, so Mesher, a strikeout victim for the second time here in the third, ends the inning. And after 2.5, it's now Versailles 9, FM nothing.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
Jeremy Beckner, Kevin Kress, and Brandon Groff will bat for the Jets here in the third. 8-9-1. That is taken, and I believe it was a bit inside. So it's a 1-0 count. Just misses. 2-0. Whetstone pitching for his third inning here in the third. That is a swing and a miss. And it's a 2-1 count on Beckner. Versailles with 4 runs in the first and 5 more in the third, leading it 9-0. Just misses low, and it's a 3-1 count on Beckner. Whetstone fires, taken ball 4, so the leadoff runner has reached for the Jets here in the third. Beckner becoming only the second base runner for FM. TJ Hamlin led off with a base hit last inning, but was left stranded at second. Suddenly Whetstone struggling to find the plate here as Kevin Kress ahead in the count 1-0. Whetstone fires, and that's a bit low. 2 balls, no strikes. Whetstone and the 2-0, that is taken a strike. The 2-1 on the way, and that is a chopper foul, first base side, so the count now even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. No one out. FM, the leadoff runner, having reached, and Jeremy Beckner drawing the walk. Whetstone fires, and that is a swing and a miss. And 1 out. That is strikeout number 4 for Whetstone. Nine zip. Versailles leading this. That is taken a strike as Brandon Groff steps in now for FM. Down in the count 0-1. Groff is 0 for 1. Grounded out to third base to lead off in the first inning for FM, and that is a swing and a miss. Groff went fishing on that one. It's 0-2. And Groff is a strikeout victim. 2 gone. Rusty Fenstermaker will, or rather Rusty Hutchinson will step in. That's Brian Fenstermaker, and he's due up later. Center fielder Rusty Hutchinson in, and that is a soft grounder to Mesher. Right at the base, and he's right there to step on it. So there are 3 outs, 3 gone here as, again, FM leaves the leadoff runner stranded, and after 3 complete, it's Versailles 9, FM nothing.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions, contact us if you'd like a DVD of any of the games or events we've taped.
8-9-1 for Versailles as we go to the 4th inning. It's a 9-0 lead. Versailles with 4 in the first and 5 more in the third, and that ball's ripped into center field, left center field. It is scooped up by Brian Fenstermaker. So the leadoff runner is on, a base hit. Jason Shardo with that. Well, thus far, both innings that the Tigers have gotten the leadoff runner on, it has been a big inning. The lone inning that they did not get the leadoff runner on, they went down scoreless. A ball and a strike on Ryan Subler, who is due up. Subler skies that, but it drifts out of play. Well, this might be a pinch hitter as well. We're in that part of the ball game, and that is a little dribbler in front of the plate. They throw onto first, not in time, as Ryan Subler is who indeed it was at bat, and he beats it out. So the first two runners have reached. Versailles with runners at first and third, or rather first and second. Shardo not going on to third. Give Subler a base hit, and that brings up Kevin Subler. But in fact, we will now have a pinch hitter. I believe it is Scott Ward that will be going to the plate. Dunn fires, and that's lifted foul. Out of play, first base side, and it's an 0-1 count. Well, as we said, the first two runners having reached, Jason Shardo and Ryan Subler. Shardo at second. Ryan Subler is at first. At bat is Scott Ward, and that Ward takes that a bit low, and it's now a 1-1 count. John Monan awaits on deck for the Versailles, and that is a ground ball hit up the middle. The throw is to first. They get the out. Actually, that was Ben Arden, not Scott Ward. Thought I saw 1-0. My apologies. So Ben Arden batting in place of his designated hitter that time, and not sure if this is 12 or 2. One out, runners at second and third. Ground ball hit to the shortstop. They throw it on to first, gets past the first baseman. A second run crosses the plate. And on the play at the plate, it got away from looked like it hit the runner and bounced away. And moving up to second is number 2, and that is John Monan. We are in the fourth. And I believe it's Adam Whetstone at bat, and it's an 0-1 count. Two runs in, making it an 11-0 lead, and that is given a ride into left field. It was caught by Brian Fenstermaker, F8 if you're scoring with us. Third baseman Eric Stuckey scheduled to bat for the Tigers. A 2-0 count on Stuckey. We said 2 outs, 2 runs in, and that gets by Hamlin as Modern races to third and is in safely. Versailles working on their third shutout as drawing the walk is Bill Stribe. That is number 14, who was batting for Stuckey. And now number 10, Scott Ward, will step to the plate. He is batting for Sean Borchers. Taking a strike at the knees, just above the knees actually, and it's an 0-1 count. 2 outs, 2 runs in. Taking a little bit outside, and it's even at a ball and a strike. Dunready's the 1-1 on the way, and that just misses. 2 balls and a strike. Brian Philpott awaits on deck. Ground ball hit to the second baseman. They flip it on to second as they get the force of Stribe. That ends the fourth for Versailles. We will go to the bottom of the fourth with the score: Versailles 11, FM nothing.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, RB Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
We head to the bottom of the fourth with an 11-0 lead as at bat for FM is Bronson Kofer, and he fouls it back, and it's an 0-1 count. Adam Whetstone on for his fourth inning of work. The 0-1, and that is a ground ball scooped up by the shortstop on to Mesher. Jason Shardo picking that up. Kofer is out 6-3 if you're scoring with us. 1 out. TJ Hamlin will step in now for FM. Hamlin is 1 for 1, a base hit in the second. Takes a strike at the knees, falls behind in the count, 0-1. Kyle Bowman awaiting on deck for FM. 11-0. That is a swing and a miss. Versailles leading this. So FM needing to get something either in this inning or in the bottom of the fifth. If Versailles can hold them scoreless over the next inning and 2/3, then this one would be over. Swing and a miss. Hamlin a strikeout victim. 2 gone. Kyle Bowman will step in. Bowman is 0 for 1. He struck out in the second. Umpire calling officials timeout to allow the batter to tie his shoe. He will step back in now. Versailles with 4 runs in the first, 5 in the third, and added a couple more in the top of this inning as they lead it 11-0. Bowman takes that a ball, and it's a 1-0 count. 2 outs. My name's Mark Bixler. We're glad to be with you here. The championship game of the King of the Hill tournament. The only sport that has a county tournament in Darke County. Basketball does not offer one. Of course, football does not, and neither does volleyball or softball. In girls sports, kind of like the idea to a certain extent. Of course, it's offered throughout Indiana. Most counties have what they call a county tournament. That has taken just misses inside, and Bowman drawing the 2-out walk. It's been very pleasant here this afternoon, with the wind picking up a little bit, kind of swirling a bit. 2 outs and a runner on as Whetstone fires to first. Back in safely is Bowman. Whetstone fires, and that's taken a strike at the knees. The 0-1, and that's a strike on the outside corner. Ryan Fenstermaker at bat for the Jets. Well, after a couple good games last night, a 1-0 win for Versailles over Arcanum. And then a 4-3 win for FM over Mississinawa. This afternoon, not in that category, as Versailles striking often and early here in this one. 4 in the first, 5 more in the third, and then added 2 more in the top of this inning. That's an 11-0 game. That is a chopper. It's picked up by the third baseman. Fires on to first in time. Mesher scoops it out. As Bill Stribe scooping that up, firing on to Mesher. Fenstermaker goes out 5-3 if you're scoring with us. 4 out, number 3. And after 4, it remains Versailles 11, FM nothing.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. Contact us if you'd like a DVD of any of the games or events we've taped.
Well, we welcome you back. We head to the fifth. For the Tigers, leading off will be Travis Wilker. He will be followed by Ron Misher and Jason Shardo due up. Well, Versailles, if you're a Versailles fan, I'm sure you'd like to see some insurance runs to get this one over in 5. If you're FM, you'd like to see a 1-2-3 inning, or at least an inning where they do not score, and then come back and get a couple in the bottom of the 5th. Bit tight. A new pitcher for FM, Kevin Kress, on in relief of Ryan Dunn. 11 zip. Versailles leading this, and that is a bit tight. Tigers with 4 in the first, 5 more in the third, and then a couple in the fourth. Taking ball 4. So the leadoff runner on once again here for the Tigers. Ben Mesher will step in now for Versailles from the left side. Jason Shardo awaiting on deck. Kress readies, fires, and it's low and away. It's away from Hamlin, but Wilker staying put. FM involved in some thrillers here in the King of the Hill tournament, but today it's a different story as Kress fires, and that ball is ripped up the middle into left center. Wilker will stay put at first, or second. Mesher standing at first with the base hit. So the first two have reached for Versailles. And a foul ball as it is an 0-1 count, and it should be Jason Shardo at bat. Kress readies from the stretch, takes it home, and that is a slow grounder. They flip it on, and it gets into right field. Another run has scored as Wilker scores. Mesher in safely at second. Making it a 12-0 ball game. Now that makes it that much harder now for FM. Shardo reaching on the fielder's choice, and Mesher safely on the throwing error. That is hit into center field. Rusty Hutchinson there to make the catch, and there's one out. Ryan Subler flying out. Back to the top of the order, and this should be, if I'm not mistaken, Ben Arden batting for himself. Coach Bruce Stahl electing to do away with the designated hitter and allow Arden to bat. Kress fires, and that is a slow roller in front of the plate. He'll throw it on to first. It's high, but going up and coming down in time. First baseman Bronson Kofer to record out number 2 as the measure advances on to third, and Shardo to second. John Monan due up. Monan 0 for 1, reached on an error last inning. Kress fires, and it's a slow roller, and it gets into shallow left field. 1 run is in, a second will score. So 2 more across the plate for Versailles. Total of 3 here in the inning. And pitcher Adam Whetstone will step in. Whetstone working on a 1-hitter here today. That is fouled back to the screen. There's Whetstone behind in the count 0-1. Well, starting to cloud up a bit. It was very pleasant to start the ball game, but things have changed a little bit. It's not just a bit overcast now. It is an 0-2 count on Whetstone. Bill Stribe due up next. 2 outs though. 3 runs in. Kress fires and just misses. A ball, 2 strikes now, the count. We said 2 outs. Kress going from the stretch. Fires home, and that is ripped into left field. A base hit. Monan standing at second. And actually, that is not. That is Tim Borchers standing at first, so he gets credit for the base hit. Two outs. You're in the top of the 5th. 3 runs in. It's a 14-0 ball game. Ground ball. The throw to first is not in time and gets past Kofer. 1 more run scores. The Tigers now with runners at first, or rather now at second and third, is on the errant throw. Stribe moving up to second base. Scott Ward will step in. Ward becomes the 9th batter of the inning. Versailles has had a few big innings here this afternoon. Sent 9 to the plate in the 1st and the 3rd. Actually, in the 3rd they sent 11 to the plate. An inning which they struck for 5 runs. Four runs here, and in the inning, it's a 15-0 ball game as Kress fires, and that is taken ball 4. That loads him up as Travis Wilker will step in now for the second time here in the 5th. Kress fires, and that is a foul ball. How many times do you see that happen where it's pitcher apparently appears to be trying to throw a curve, the batter ducks to get out of the way and leaves the bat hanging up there, and it hits it. A ball and a strike on Wilker. Ben Mesher awaits on deck. Already, as we said, 4 runs in here in the inning, and that ball is lifted into left center field as Hutchinson there makes the catch. That ends the inning, but not before 4 more runs cross the plate for Versailles. We go to the bottom of the 5th with Versailles leading at 15-0.
This event brought to you by the Made Right Sandwich Shop at 125 North Broadway in Greenville. The Ansonia Lumber Company, 300 South Main Street in Ansonia. Greenville National Bank in Greenville, Ansonia, Gettysburg, Arcanum, and Bradford. Cox Insurance Agency, R.B. Cox Agency in Ansonia, Vinoy Cox Insurance Agency in Greenville. Homestretch Sportswear in St. Henry and Wapakoneta. By Montage Cafe on South Broadway in Greenville. And by M. Bixler Video Productions. For more information on underwriting, contact us.
If you're an FM fan, it does not look good in regard to going the complete 7 innings. We are in the bottom of the 5th. It's a 15-0 ball game. Versailles leading it. FM needing 6 runs to keep this one going here in the 5th. For the Jets, it appears we will have a pinch hitter, if I'm not mistaken. Scott Oswald will step to the plate. It's an 0-1 count. Appears he tried to lay down the bunt, although the scoreboard says 1-1. I don't think 2 pitches have been thrown. New pitcher, Ben Mesher, as Oswald swings, and it's an 0-2 count. Taken a bit high, although it does say there's 2 outs too, and that's an impossibility because Oswald is the first batter. That is a swing and a miss. Mesher gets his first strikeout of the night. 1 out, and Jeremy Beckner will step in. Mesher on in relief of Adam Whetstone. They're working on a combined 1 hitter thus far. That hit coming in the 2nd, T.J. Hamlin with that. Also another pinch hitter, did not catch the number on the back of the uniform on this one though. Swing and a miss. Count is 0-1. Well, as we said, FM needing 6 to keep this one going here in the 5th. And it's an 0-2 count. Kevin Kress awaits on deck for the Jets. Taken high and away. The count now a ball, 2 strikes. That is a swing and a miss, and there's 2 gone here in the 5th. Kevin Kress will make his way to the plate as we'll keep an eye on the back of the uniform. Number 11, which would be Greg Miller. Kevin Kress was due up, but we may have another pinch hitter. And I believe we will. Taking a strike. Kress was swinging a bat in the on-deck circle, but may have been called back. It's an 0-2 count. Well, we could be down to our last pitch as Mesher fires, and that has taken a strike, and that will end it. Mesher comes on and strikes out the side here in the 5th, and Versailles has run-ruled Franklin-Monroe for the championship of the King of the Hill tournament. The final score, Versailles 15, FM nothing. The Tigers winning their 2nd King of the Hill championship. We'll be back and wrap things up in just a moment.
Oliver Funeral Home, Greenville's only locally owned funeral home. McCabe Painting Incorporated, professional service with guaranteed satisfaction. By Osgood State Bank, with locations in Osgood, Fort Laramie, Chickasaw, and Lakeview. Family Health of Darke County, located in Greenville, Versailles, Arcanum, and New Madison. By State Farm Insurance, your local agent Jim Gable, East Main Street in Greenville. And by Bixler Video Productions, contact us if you'd like a DVD of any of the games or events we've taped.
Well, we welcome you back. The county champions for Darke County, the King of the Hill tournament, Versailles winning it for the 2nd time in 3 years. The Tigers winning it in 1996. Greenville winning it last year, and now this year, the Tigers winning it once again, a 15-0 winner over Franklin-Monroe. They did it with big innings, striking 4 for 4 runs in the 1st, added 5 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 4th, and 4 more in the 5th inning to walk away with a 15-0 winner. But here's something that's even more impressive. The Tigers did not give up a run rather, in this tournament. They shut out Greenville, run-ruling them 12-0 in their opener here 2 weeks ago. Then last night, in a great baseball game, they defeated Arcanum 1-0. And here tonight, run-ruling Franklin-Monroe in 5, 15-0. Well, they are presenting the trophies, the runner-up trophy going to Franklin-Monroe here tonight, this afternoon. Franklin-Monroe making it to the championship game with an exciting 18-17 ball game, which was a wild one, in which Franklin-Monroe got off to big leads. They, in fact, led 13-4 at one point, only to see Tri-Village trim it to a 13-9 ball game, then got it to a 17-9 ball game, only to see Tri-Village battle back and tie it at 17, sending it to 8. But in the bottom of the 8th, FM got a run, manufactured a run. And ended up winning the game 18-17. Versailles, on the other hand, as we said, they shut out Greenville here 12-0 a couple weeks ago. Defeated Arcanum in a great ball game, 1-0. And then here today, 15-0. Mississinawa, the other semifinal team, losing in another good ball game to Franklin-Monroe, 4-3. And the Versailles Tigers accepting the championship trophy. As we said, for the second time in 3 years, the Tigers again, the trophy presentations. The trophy presentation taking place. They present a sportsmanship and an MVP. Ben Arden receiving the sportsmanship trophy. And Kevin Subler receives the most valuable player of the tournament. So our congratulations to both young men here. Again, the final score here, 15-0. Let's recap the entire tournament. A couple weeks ago, we got started with Versailles battling Greenville. The Tigers walking away with a shutout and a run rule game. 12-0 the final score. That game was followed up by a 13-4 win by Arcanum over Bradford. In the third semifinal game, another run rule game, Mississinawa defeating Ansonia 14-4. And then in a wild one, a game that took 2 days to complete because of rain, it was FM 18, Tri-Village 17 in 8 innings. In the semifinal games played last night, a couple of good ball games. It was Versailles winning 1-0. Arcanum having several chances, getting runners to third, but unable to push them home. And the final score, Versailles winning it, shutting them out 1-0. And then in the second semifinal game, it was a 4-3 win as FM defeated Mississinawa to earn the right to play in this championship game. And of course, in the championship game, a 5-inning run rule game, it was Versailles 15, Franklin-Monroe That is going to do it for us here this afternoon. Again, the final score, Versailles shutting out Franklin-Monroe in a run rule 5-inning game, 15-0. For M. Bixler Video Productions, I'm Mark Bixler saying so long, everybody.